The Retro Reel!
Howdy folks, welcome to the Retro Reel. Well, many years ago I began a Thanksgiving special video blog in a manner similar to this one, by walking up these very stairs with this guerrilla style stuff going on with a digital camera and no tripod. Things have changed a lot since then. YouTube has changed a lot since then. Heck, the world has changed a lot since then. Today, we're going to turn back the clock. I'm still wearing very similar clothes to what I wore on that day. Not the same jacket, because I prefer this style now, not those cottony, fluffy things. And definitely, though, the same piece of junk orange and brown Reese's Candy Rip-Off polo shirt. Same shirt, too. Kind of worn out these days, so I don't wear it much anymore, but just for old time's sake. Ah, there we go. Honestly, I have no clue how I used to put up with that guerrilla filming stuff in the bad old days before I got my first tripod. So, yay, no more standing on the stairs and stuff. Anyways, today on the Retro Reel, we're going to take a look at my Thanksgiving special from 2006, back when I was first getting into YouTube and video blogging and all that fun stuff. Now, it may sound kind of egotistical to have a Thanksgiving special as a video blogger, but back then it was a different YouTube, a much simpler time. It was also practically a different world, too. I mean, on YouTube, video bloggers like Renetto and Greg Solomon were the top dogs instead of all this commercial and commercial-ish stuff like what we have today. I don't even think there were annotations back then. The irate gamer wasn't even around, for crying out loud, so we're going way back. The angry video game nerd was just shooting stuff in his living room, and I think he only had his friend on acoustic guitar singing his theme song. None of this TV-style, borderline overproduced stuff like what he did during his most ambitious nerd years and stuff like that. It was a very different world back then, and a very different YouTube. It was all about video blogging and things like that, and everybody did holiday specials. Thanksgiving, Halloween, and Christmas, you could bet your video bloggers would do some kind of special, and in 2006 I got in on some of that myself with some specials of my own. Cats and Computers dates back to the days when all I had was a crappy Kodak digital camera for videos. It couldn't even white balance correctly. If the scene got too bright, it would go all yellow because it was constantly trying to wing it with white balance. So we're definitely going way, way back. My style, obviously, back then was much different, although there are some elements of this video that some of you even today will recognize, like the over-the-shoulder tech stuff when I'm fiddling with a computer and stuff like that. This also happens to be the only pets and animals type video I've ever done, because I was over the folks' place helping them out with some computer problems after we got back from the Thanksgiving feast, and and the folks' cats kept getting involved, so this is pretty much my only pets and animals type video that I've ever done in all the years I've been doing this crazy stuff here. Anyways, enough chit-chat. Enjoy this blast from the past from way the heck back in 2006. This is MultimediaJay saying thanks for stopping by, and this is Cats and Computers, a MultimediaJay Thanksgiving. Sit back, relax, and enjoy the show. Howdy, MultimediaJay here, and it is Thanksgiving here in this lovely year of 2006. So, happy Thanksgiving! My folks are cooking dinner for anybody that shows up, or my family, of course. But you're not going to see this till after the festivities are over anyways. So, I'm one of the few people that does show up. Most of my step relatives are out somewhere else or something like that. But since they decided to cook, I figured I'd head right on over. Yeah, I know, like I really need it. So I figured since I've discovered YouTube in the last year or so, what I would do is I'd just go over there and try filming a Thanksgiving special of some sort. This assumes that I could even get anything on film to begin with. My folks have pretty much become hermits in their old age. They're really playing really hard into the old person, get off my lawn type mentality. So I won't be surprised if they never want to be on camera and I wind up just shooting film of the cats or something like that. Yay, Thanksgiving cat special brought to you by MultimediaJay. Anyways, let's get straight to what counts here. This is the MultimediaJay Thanksgiving special 2006. Let's see what the heck I can do here. Alright, let's roll. Check out this pathetic excuse for Thanksgiving weather. Ugh, it's cloudy, wet, rainy. Had some storms come through and some storm warnings up on the Weather Channel's online app last night. But it's still better than snow. Hi Gracie, this is Gracie the cat. This is Gracie the cat, very cute / annoying little furry fellow here. He's keeping an eye on me to make sure that I don't break this computer. Isn't that right, Gracie? What do you think you're doing? Are you the seat warmer, huh, Gracie? I don't think she wants me using the computer. I'm gonna get my chair back, but unfortunately, the Gracie the cat seems to not want to give it up. Yeah, go ahead. Yeah, sure, whatever. It's a swivel chair for a reason. You got a cat that won't cooperate like this. Darn. This cat's got some real metal. Most cats would jump out the minute it started spinning. Good old Gracie. I know what I'll do. I'll fix the computer first and let this cat take a nap. Yeah, I know, like he needs it. Or she's. This is the computer that's making the noise like a meat grinder. Now, I haven't seen the insides of this thing since I built it for him at the end of college. You guys ready? Holy crap. Better stand out of the line of fire. It's not that bad of shape. The video card's got a little bit of dust on it. The fan's got dust in its blades and an old AMD Slot A CPU. Otherwise, other than a little bit of dust, which could probably be blown out, never mind an air can, everything looks pretty cool. Another thing of note, I've mentioned capacitor plague in my previous videos on tech. This is a 6-year-old HP Pavilion, and none of those capacitors are even bulging. This computer dates back to the year 2000. None of those capacitors on the motherboard are bulging at all. This machine is almost 7 years old. Next August it'll be 7 years old. Not in its original case, obviously, but the capacitors aren't even bulging whatsoever. Next time you hear me talk about capacitor plague, that's what I'm talking about. It's been in its present state for about 2 years or so. That's a Slot A AMD Athlon. Can I get the label? Yeah, just barely. That's a Slot A AMD Athlon 750 megahertz cartridge processor from back in the days when AMD and Intel had separate cache, and they found out, embarrassingly so, that they were buying it from the same manufacturer. So what do? They make these Atari cartridge processors that go out of style in like a year or two. I'm really surprised this machine still works though, because there's no processor fin, there's no CPU fan. This is a passive heatsink. The original HP, speaking of cheap design, had a fan blowing down into these fins here, and so I thought this thing would last like a year tops, but it's 2 years, and the only problem is that one of the bearings in the fans is about to die. Of course, this fan right here sucking the heat off the chip has absolutely nothing to do with that, right? It's part of the ATX specification. He also has this nice 120mm FF class CPU case fan coming out this grill in the back, which also keeps the system nice and quiet by pushing a lot of air but keeping the RPMs low. Probably also throw in that this PC is a combination of my original HP and his original Dell. Both machines died. We salvaged what works, put it in a new case, bada bing. That's how you recycle old technology. You know, I couldn't see with the dust. I thought his case was toolless, and I removed the fan holder instead of the fan itself. Look at it. Oops.
What's the matter, Gracie Cat? You never seen a working computer without its top off before? Oh, cats, go figure. Woo! Wow! Man, it's raining out there. Oh, jeez. What a joke. It's cold, wet rain garbage, but it's still better than snow. The reason I said that earlier is because here in southern New England, we don't really get a whole lot of huge snowstorms. I mean, we complain about like the 1 or 2 big storms we get every year. You really have to go north of the Mass Pike to see any real snow. Down here, snow's easy. You get like 2 to 4 inches, 4 to 6 inches tops. It's a big event if we get a foot of snow or more, just to give you an idea. The bigger problem is sleet, freezing rain, and other wintry mixed type crap. So, that kind of stuff, you know? In any event, as I expected, they were all camera shy. I mean, this whole YouTube thing is, you know, they're still figuring out AOL. Never mind anything related to YouTube. So, just different cultures, you know. I'm largely the way I am because of the wired culture that existed at my college. So, a lot of influence there. So it's no surprise that I pretty much just wound up filming the cats and fixing a computer. In any event, Thanksgiving is over. Now we can start talking about Christmas. Bah, humbug! I've got some interesting stuff in the works for the holiday season this year. Stay tuned, keep your eyes peeled. This could get interesting. And this wraps up this Thanksgiving special. Happy Thanksgiving, everybody. This is MultimediaJay signing off.
This is the generic announcer, speaking for the MultimediaJay Thanksgiving Special, an AV geek with too much free time on his hands YouTube production.